Okay, today we are going to discuss macros. Okay, so we have a topic called the macros. Even you might have seen in the DBT. Okay, when we installed DBT, right here you can see the folder called a macro. Okay, so here, right? So in this macro also we can able to create the jobs. Okay, so how and what is the useful of this macro and where we can use maximum, that also we will discuss today in macro. Okay, so I won't take much time and I'll just take 20 minutes 30 minutes to cover this one. Just I'll give you the background of what is macro and where we use in real time, that I will explain, and practically we will discuss tomorrow. Okay, macros are, if you see the definition also here, right? Okay, macros are a powerful feature used in streamline and automate repetitive tasks. See, very definition also, if you see this, right? It is saying that, okay, automate a repetitive task. It is means what? Same task whenever you are doing, right? Don't do that in model or snapshot. Okay, do it in macro and just you can call them in models in macro. How, that I will explain. Making your data transformation code more maintainable and efficiency. Okay. And macros in DBT are essentially reusable piece. This is very, very important. Okay. Reusable piece. It means what? Once you created a macro, you can use that logic into a multiple models and multiple snapshots in the queries. You can use this macro. How? As I mentioned, I'll explain you that. Okay. Logic that can be used across multiple models. Here you can see, right? And analysis and other parts of your DBT project. They are written in Jinja. I mean, Jinja is a programming language. Okay. We can, that is very simple. Okay. No need to worry about this one. Okay. And which is the template engine for Python, allowing for dynamic content and code reuse. So basically, very simply, if I want to tell, okay, I'll take the notepad. Okay. Very, very useful actually. Okay. We have a ETL tools. Okay. Under ETL tool, for example, Informatica. In Informatica, you will have a concept called mapping and maplets. Okay. In this mapping, what we do, we create a transformation logic. Okay. We will use this transformation logic in the mapping. And if there is a common logic, okay, you have um, you have a 100 tables, okay, that you need to pull the incremental data every day. Okay, so for that you need to build a logic. For 100 tables, okay, you need a same incremental logic to update. Okay, you no need to change here, and you want to use this in this case, right? What we used to do, we used to create a maplet. Okay, and we were applying that maplet under our mapping. Similarly, in talent, okay, in talent we have a jobs and a joblet. So this is actually we called as a reusable component. Reusable component. And here also same. In talent, we are using the transformation logic here, and this joblet is very simple. It's a template of reusable component. Joblet, mapping, maplet, job and joblet. Like that, they have created like this. So definitely it will be very useful if you have a common logic to apply in other jobs. Okay, as I mentioned, 100 tables you have. While loading the data, you need a common logic. Okay, at that time, this will help you to reduce the effort, because this 100 table, if you want to implement incremental logic or any common logic, you have to touch 100 and jobs. Instead of that, you just create a one maplet, or one joblet or one macro in DBT. In DBT, what you have to do? You need to create a one macro. And for individual jobs, as already we have discussed, right? Model we have, and a snapshot we have, hmm, and mainly models and snapshots, right? And macro. Macro is nothing but it is a, these are all, okay. If you see here, these are all, okay. Transformation logic we can apply here. Transformation logic we can apply here. All transformation logic. In macro, you can use reusable component, reusable reusable logic we can apply here. So that this logic we can use in model and a snapshot. How? For example, okay. Now I have a EMP table. Okay, consider like this. Under EMP table, I have a column called EMP number, E name, job, salary, department number. And here I have a 10, comma, honey, dot, sorry, okay, comma, honey, comma, software, comma, salary, 100, comma, okay, and department 10, for example. I have a DPT table, okay, under DPT table, I have a DPT number, okay, and D name, and salary, sorry, location I have. So here 10, and software, okay, and the location is Hyderabad, for example, like this. Now, here while loading the data, I want to filter only department 10. Okay. Here, if I want to filter department 10, okay, then we need to apply the filter logic of department 10. And here also, if I want to filter a department 10 data, for example, here also I'm doing same filter. Here also I'm doing same filter, same department 10. Okay. So how we will write a query? Select a star from EMP where DPT number equal to 10. We will write like this. Okay. And here also select star from DPT where DPT number equal to 10. We will write like this. Right. So now what we will do to avoid this multiple times to apply this logic, what we do in Informatica, we use Maplet. So that Maplet, in Maplet, what we do, we will apply this filter logic so that, the department equal to 10, we will create a maplet here. And wherever we need it, we will apply in the actual mapping in talent jobs. And here in models, we will apply that filter condition especially. So that you simply select star from EMP, and you can write a below also, you can select star from DEPT. Simply you can write so that you can easily able to reduce the effort of development. So like this document says, I mean the macro, this concept says, use the macro, okay, in case if you have a requirement of common logic for multiple jobs, okay, then use the macro. That it says actually. Okay, if you see here is here we have written a simple statement. Macros in DBT are essentially a reusable piece of SQL code or logic that can be used across multiple models. Okay, this is the very useful definition. In interview, definitely they may ask. If, for example, I'm a Informatica developer earlier. Now I move to DBT. I'll ask this question. In Informatica, we have a mapping and a maplet. Maplet we use for a reusable logic. In DBT, how do we use reusable logic? I have 100 tables. I want to apply same logic for 100 tables. Then how will you do that? Will you able to do for each job the same logic will you apply, or how do you implement? How will you do this? This kind of question they may ask. In that case, you need to tell, yes, we have a concept called macros in DBT. That macros is very useful for us to implement the reusable component, reusable logic that you need to explain. Okay. So now, see here, I have taken this some use cases for a macros in DBT. Avoid the repetition. See the simple statement it is saying. Okay, avoid the repetition and dynamic SQL generation and simply complex logic. Simplify complex logic, and you can see the definition. Okay, macros can be encapsulate common SQL pattern, reducing duplication and making it easier to update logic in one place rather than multiple models. See, I mentioned, right? Okay, so now if you see what, so if you have implemented same logic in 100 models, in 100 jobs and models, then you need to check, you need to touch each and every model. Okay, if you create a macro, then if you touch macro, then it will reflect under each model. Automatically it will reflect. So your effort got reduced. Similarly, that will help macros. Okay. See, dynamic SQL generation. Macros can generate SQL code dynamically based on parameter or condition, which helps creating flexibility and reusable code. So in case if you want to change any logic and if you want to update into 100 models, then this dynamic SQL generation also it is very useful. Simplify complex logic. Complex logic or transformations can be simplified into a macros, improving the readability and maintainability. Yes, that is 100%. So this kind of use cases you need to find out. Okay. For each concept, you should have a use case. If you don't have a use case, then there is nothing. Okay. So this is the macro of the benefits of macro using in DBT. That is very, very helpful. And do we need to use means it tells you the your requirement. Whether do I need to go for macro or not, your requirement it will tell you. Okay. I cannot able to tell. I will tell yes, we can use like this if you have any requirement. But when you are doing a project, when you are in project, if you want to see, okay, and you when you are gathering the requirement or when you are involving the meetings in the with the leads, and if you have a common repeating logic to implement, then you can suggest why can't we use the macros. You need to think in future how we can reduce the effort like this. Then this will help you a lot. Okay. And you see simple macro, okay, for a date column. Okay, macro definition. So I have taken one example. So this is the Jinja program like this. Okay, so flower bracket and hash space you need to give. Okay, otherwise it will not work. Okay, flower bracket percentage macro. You are writing a macro, then you need to define a macro. This is your macro name. Date filter is your macro name. And start date, end date, again space, percentage, flower bracket. And this is the logic, see, and date column between start date and end date. Here you need to give the dates, start date and end date. Okay, and end macro, because you have opened here macro and you need to end a macro. And then you have created a macro. What is the next step? Then you need to go to the model. Okay, either first you create a model and then go to macro, not a problem. In case if you have a entire requirement and then if you want to go macro, yes, go ahead macro and use the model. Anything is fine. Okay, then create a model, then pull the data, and here where see you have written a logic here. flower bracket. In this flower bracket, you are calling macro date filter. You see here we have a date filter, and here we have a date filter. Okay, so 2024 I am hard coding here currently, and even this can be parameterized. Okay, so flower bracket, under flower bracket we are using date filter column. So in this example, the date filter macro is used to add a date range filter to SQL query. By using the macro, you can easily adjust the date range in one place if needed. See how it is very simplified. I mean, this DBT has simplified the logic or development. See, really, if you ask me, it is a fantastic actually. It got reduced the developer effort, creating a table, importing source, really. But you need to learn deeply. Definitely, you will become expert in DBT, and definitely will get a job, because maximum uh, outside, right? Candidates are not practicing that much. Okay, even whether in the institute they are telling or not, even I don't know. But see, this is very important. Tomorrow we will practice this 100%. Okay. And see, I have taken another one. Okay, macro, second example. Macro, generate a columns. Okay, parameterized. I'm giving the parameter here. Set column list, column dot split. Okay, one column. Just you see here example. I have given a name, age, salary with the comma delimiter. So this is, I'm just passing the parameter, right? So generate column I'm using here. Select generate column name. I'm giving the entire column. So under macro I have written a split logic. See, set column list columns dot split comma. See, I have given a comma here, right? So percentage. So again for loop I have written a for loop column in column list. It means the whatever the parameter I have given here, right? This value will be go here, it will go to here, and it will place here, and then it will identify the comma, right? Then accordingly it will split the each column accordingly. Okay, and here column as alias name we have given, right? So that will create a like this column as column alias. It means name as name underscore alias, age as age underscore alias, like this it will create, and end for end macro, because here I'm creating a end for, right, again under set, and just end for and end macro file. So here generate a column to macro, taken a common separated list of columns names, and generate SQL code to select those columns with the aliases. This approach helps in managing and altering column selection dynamically. So like this, okay, in case if you want to give anything, so here if you have taken here, and tomorrow age is not available, tomorrow age is not coming, then if you simply update this column here, so no need to entire logic, you no need to change anything. Okay, that parameter if you change, that will end up. So like this, it will help you a lot. Okay. So similarly, we have a different use cases. We will discuss tomorrow. This is just a definition. What you want to do today means, so you need to learn about a macro in depth. Okay. Tomorrow I'll give you the use case, and with the practice we will do. Okay. Any questions here? So similarly, for each concept, we need to have a use cases as well. Okay, then only you can able to understand, and you can relate with the real time data. Okay, so I'm stopping now. It's already 9:35. Okay, tomorrow we will meet at 6:30. Okay, because let's start again our old days, how we were joining the classes, right? Let's have a 6:30 a.m. in the morning tomorrow. Definitely. Okay, please be available. I'll complete this macro concept in tomorrow. Okay, 6:30 you will have a class morning. Tomorrow morning 6:30. Please be available. Okay, so if no questions, then we can close the call, and please be practice this macro. Okay, that is very, very important. And just read out and watch the video in YouTube. Okay, even I'm going to upload this in YouTube. Just if you want, you can just have a relook once for a better understanding. Okay. Okay, I'm stopping this recording session, and I'll wait for some more time. If you want,